stores. Visit somc.org or call us at 740-356-CARE to learn more.
Kool Hits 105.7 WLGC FM. Green Up, Ashland.
Kool Hits 105.7 and the Kool Hits Sports Network now presents Let's Talk Sports. We'll take a look at scores and sports stories, talk with coaches, players, and others. It's Let's Talk Sports, brought to you by Clark's Pump and Shops of the Tri-State, Stoltz Pharmacy in Greenup, River Cities Builders, and J.D. Flooring of Greenup. Now, here's your host for Let's Talk Sports, James Collier.
And welcome into Let's Talk Sports here on the Kool Sports Network. James Collier, happy to have you along with us this morning. 1 week left in regular season high school football, and then it's postseason as we're about ready to turn the calendar month into November. And we had some really big games last night, some district championships on the line in the local area. We'll check all the scores from those in just a second. We're going to talk with Chad Tackett, head coach for the Ashland Tomcats. They got a heck of a win at home last night over Johnson Central, their first over the Golden Eagles since 2017. But they hoisted a district championship trophy last night as well, and they put themselves in a number 1 seed, which guarantees you 2 playoff games at home. That's huge. And then you get into the RPI after that when you get to the final 8, and then the chips are as they may lie. But we'll talk with Coach Tackett. A gutsy win for his team there, down late in the final minute of the game, and came away with the victory. Major League Baseball World Series Game 1 is in the books. Freddie Freeman wins it for the Dodgers on a walk-off grand slam. We'll look at it and preview game number 2 as the Dodgers grab a 1-0 lead over the New York Yankees. A lot of great games on tap today in college football top 25. 2 games already final from Thursday and last night. We'll take a look at those. And, of course, the Borders Sporting Goods Rant of the Week coming up at the end of the show. A little bit of respect needs to be shown. All right, let's go around the local area and look at just games that played last evening. Then we'll check a couple of games throughout the state because there were some big ones last night as well. Boyd County hammers Lawrence County 42-20. I did not expect Boyd to not win this game, but I did not expect to see Boyd to absolutely just dismantle Lawrence County. The Lions got a big one in a big way. Now they've got a great test coming up this Friday with Pikeville. I think it's going to be a really good football game. West Carter, a nice win at home over Lewis County 45-12. Raceland spanking Nicholas County 65-0. So the Rams pick up their 5th consecutive district championship. They're guaranteed to be at home for the first 2 rounds. And looking at the RPI with the way it sets up, Raceland's pretty much almost a lock for round 3 and could even play a state semifinal game if they make it that far. But the numbers are certainly lining up for those potential opportunities. But the Rams, no problem last night with Nicholas County at home. Russell goes to Grayson, gets a win over East Carter, 23-14 for the district championship. It was a really good football game. East Carter had a chance to make a stop. Russell drove down the field and got the score that needed to separate. So the Russell Red Devils get the district championship. So the Red Devils will be the 1 seed. East Carter suffering its first district loss in about 3 seasons, I believe it is. So big one there. Ashland over Johnson Central 41-36. Greenup defeats Rowan County 53-18. It was Pikeville over Hazard 24-6. Morgan County hammers Phelps 54-20. Paris blanking Fairview 50-0. And it was Bath County over Fleming County 36-35. Now, looking at some of the other scores real quickly, there was one that jumped off immediately last night when I started looking through the scores, and this is for Class A football, but there was an upset I think many would think would be considered an upset last night in Class Single A, and that was the top team in Class Single A getting beaten last evening as Kentucky Country Day, KCD, as most people know it as, defeated Campbellsville 20-18. So Campbellsville was the top-ranked team in Class Single A, so that certainly shuffles some things around there. So we'll see how that all plays out as we move forward. Belfry, no problems with Powell County, 35-7. Bell County continues to roll there in Class 3A, 49-6. Betsy Lane over Pike County Central, 20-19. Bishop Brossard beating up on Trimble County, 65-0. All All right, let's take a break. When we come back, we're going to head down and talk with Ashland head coach Chad Tackett. A nice win for his team last night as they defeat Johnson Central and pick up the district championship for the first time since 2017 over the Golden Eagles. We'll take a break. We'll come back. We'll talk with him after this here on Let's Talk Sports on the Kool Sports Network.
If you're looking for a complete discount pharmacy with old-fashioned service and excellent prices, look no more. Since 1979, Stultz Pharmacy has provided our area with the finest in pharmacy care, 24-hour emergency prescription service, free delivery, and drive-through service for prescriptions. Stultz Pharmacy continues to fill all of your expectations. They carry a nice selection of gift items. For hometown service, see the professionals at Stultz Pharmacy in Greenup. More than you expect from a pharmacy.
Stultz Pharmacy.
River Cities Builders is a licensed general contractor specializing in commercial and industrial projects, and they have a history and reputation of providing top-notch expertise through their experienced and devoted workforce. River Cities Builders also is a gas facility maintenance company offering petroleum equipment maintenance and EMV compliant upgrades for smart payment terminals, and they offer 24 hours, 7 days a week emergency service. Call 606-473-4112 or visit rivercitiesbuildersinc.com.
Quality Marathon gasoline, great monthly specials on snacks and beverages, and fantastic service. Those are the qualities of Clark's Pump and Shops. You'll find a Clark's Pump and Shop near you in the Bluegrass State and beyond. And Rick and Brent Clark want you to know that they take pride in giving you the best prices and service, and they thank you for your patronage. Clark's Pump and Shops are a division of the John W. Clark Oil Company. Clark's Pump and Shops. Return, refresh, refuel.
JD Flooring, 2017 Ashland Road, Greenup, has been family owned and operated for over 30 years, featuring top-of-the-line material, guaranteed installation, and absolutely no one can beat JD Flooring's price. Need to replace your current flooring in one room or the entire house? Call JD Flooring in Greenup, 606-473-0411 for a free estimate. A call can get your house ready for any occasion. You'll absolutely love your new flooring from JD Flooring, 2017 Ashland Road, Greenup.
Kool hits, the greatest songs of all time. 105.7.
Back on Let's Talk Sports on the Kool Sports Network. Let's go to the phone lines. Joining us there, head coach for the Ashland Tomcats, Chad Tackett. Coach, good morning. How are you?
Good morning. How are you?
Doing well. Thanks for tuning in this morning. What a win last night for your team. And 41-36 over Johnson Central gets you a district crown, guarantees you 2 home playoff games. And again, when you get to this point of the season, those 2 playoff games, those are the most important 2 things in front of you at that time.
Yeah, absolutely. When we won state back in 2020, we played four games at home in the playoffs. So, those type of games and at that time of the year are crucial and important to have at home.
Last night, with the way the game started playing out, and you get into that fourth quarter, did you kind of have the feeling that the person that had the football last was going to be the person that was going to determine the outcome of this football game?
Yeah, it was back and forth. First half, we played really well, defensively, and then I thought we had a chance maybe to punch another score in and kind of get a 2-touchdown lead, and we did, and then they fought their way back and then tied it and then eventually took the lead. So it was kind of, back and forth, and then you get the ball back with 26 seconds, you don't know what's going to happen. So we felt like we had a chance at least if we got down close enough to try to kick a field goal possibly, but LeBron and Duckweiler made a big play there at the end and was able to secure the victory.
Well, we'll talk about that play in just a second, but you got to talk about what got you there to begin with. When you've got a guy like Braxton Jennings standing back there in the return game, it's almost one of the deals you're probably better off to kick it out of bounds and try to kick it to that guy and give him an opportunity to use his elusive speed.
Yeah, I was. I guess because of field position, they decided to maybe kick it deep and make us drive the field with the time that was left. But they could have kicked it short and then took their chances. But having Braxton back there and we were enhanced team all night, so we weren't able to put our actual regular return team out there. Generally, we have Braxton and Cam back there deep, but last night we were in Hans' team because they onside kick about every play, every kickoff. So, we had Dylan and Braxton back there deep, and then, Braxton made just a heck of a play, got us down there close enough to give us a chance to win it.
When you get the play set up to where you've got an opportunity to take a look at the end zone, and you've got a kid like LeBryant Strader, a senior this year, walking off the sideline, going on the field, did you have that sense of, hey, we've got this one?
Yeah, a little bit, because, our kids on the sideline after they scored that last touchdown, there wasn't much panic in their voices. And, they were all saying, all right, let's get the ball back. Let's go down and score. Let's go down and get it. Let's go down and win it. And, several kids were saying that. So, that's just a sign. Most of the kids, especially our juniors and seniors, they've played quite a few games now over their career here. And so they've been in some big moments. So, those situations don't faze them. So, a lot of that can be attributed to the veteran leadership we have.
Yeah, you look at LeBryant, a senior this year, started as a sophomore. I remember his first start when you all played Raceland over at Wheelersburg, and now looking to where he has gotten to, the maturation of his football IQ is off the charts.
Yeah, it's just he's always been very football savvy, as far as the game awareness, but the physical part of it came, as he matured and grew into his body, and he's always had a really good arm, and but his mental makeup, he's just a winner. He's a high character kid, an excellent student in the classroom. He's one of the top students in our senior class, and you put all that together, and the fact he's just a winner, and having him lead our ship, we feel like good things can happen.
What does it say about the moxie that he has when the game is on the line, a district championship's on the line, and he goes to a guy, as you even said it in the newspaper last night, Dylan's kind of a quiet guy on the offensive side of things because of all the people that's in front of him. But here it is, Dylan Duckweiler in the biggest game of the season comes out and has a career game for you guys.
Yeah, and that's just that's kind of our mentality, next man up, and they were giving special attention to Braxton and Cam all night, as they should have, and Dylan was able to get open quite a few times, and then LeBryant was able to get the ball to him, and Dylan made the catches when he needed to, and made some really big plays for us, and it took advantage and ended up having a career night with 3 touchdowns.
Looking at the way Johnson Central's made up going in, did you expect the rushing attack to kind of be stymied like it was, to where you focused on having to go through the air? LeBryant very efficient through the air, 19 of 25, 250 yards, but being held to under 100 yards rushing, was that the expectations because of the way Johnson Central defensively presents itself?
Well, I mean, we had actually seen some people run the ball on them. They're a really good defense and well coached team, and but we thought we could get some advantages in the air with matchups and the way they do things. So, our game plan going in, Coach Dowdy and Coach Estep, the game plan was to, kind of run enough to keep them off balance, but get through the air and try to pick up yards. We feel like we have really good receivers on the perimeter. Sam Lyons, Mason Wolf, Cam, Braxton, Ducky, and then LeBryant back there throwing the ball. So we feel like we have some really good matchups. And then Mav Ashby caught several balls out of the backfield last night and made some plays. So, those guys all chipped in, and everybody, like I said, I told the guys after the game, it was a total team effort.
When you have guys like you mentioned there with Cam Davis, Braxton Jennings, and Maverick Ashby, who can become an extension of your passing game from the backfield, does that allow you to really expand the playbook without having to say, okay, this is definitely, we're going to run, we're definitely going to pass? You kind of have those options that you can check to at the line of scrimmage.
Kind of most of our stuff, that we have the ability to release the back out of the backfield and pass protection. So, that's part of our offense. It's just, there's times this year we haven't had to do that, where we could just keep them in. But, we felt like in certain situations with the blitz up front and the way they were coming at us off the edge, we could swing the backs out and pick up some yards, and that's what we did.
You look at the way Johnson Central runs offensively, and it's no secret they want to run the football. Last night did not attempt a single passing attempt in the football game. defensively, understanding this team is going to line it up and run it right at you. They're going to try to grind things out. What did you like about what you saw from your defense last night of trying to keep them under contain of the way they run the football?
Well, the first half we played about as textbook as we could against them. They're quite, they have quite a distinct size advantage against us, and most years they always have. And, so we wanted to use our speed and just attack downhill and get after them. And I felt like we did that, especially in the first half. Second half, we started missing some tackles and falling off guys, and that extended some drives for them. But overall, they had one long run against us. That Cam tracked down and tackled. But outside of that, I feel like we did a fairly good job, at least making them grind and earn the touchdowns that they got. The flip side of that is, they ate up the time of possession, so it really limited our possessions on offense.
When you have that situation occurring, how much does it rely on your offense to not be in panic mode when they do get an offensive possession? For one, knowing that your offensive possessions are probably going to be limited on the night, but two, understanding every possession you have the football, you've got to go find points.
Well, I grew up, my mentor, Bill Tom Ross, he always said defense is frenzy, offense is poise. So, offense is one of those things. You got to have poise, you got to have character and control, and you just go out and do what you do. You execute, do the things you work on in practice all week, and try not to let the other side of the ball dictate how you do things. Sometimes that can be difficult, especially if a team's eating up the time of possession. But at the same time, when we get the ball, we got to stay poised and under control and just go down and do what we do.
A district championship on your home field under the new turf, how big is that as kind of a staple for the 2024 season?
It's a good accomplishment. It's not the end all, and I told the guys that last night. Enjoy it. Enjoy it for 24 hours, and we got to turn the page. But it's definitely rewarding. This senior class, they won a couple district championships since they've been here, and it was good to see their hard work paid off. To get paid off, and these guys have really worked hard over the past year for this moment. But now that just checks the first box. Now we got to set our eyes to the playoffs and finish this thing out strong and try to become the best version of ourselves.
You've got a really good game coming up against Simon Kenton to close out the regular season. How big is it to make certain that doesn't turn into a trap game to where you don't go play your best football and then kind of roll into the postseason on a sour note?
It's really important. It's a completely opposite type team. They're going to throw the ball as much as Johnson Central ran it. They're really a pass-happy team that likes to air it out. And, they're a 6A opponent. They got, phenomenal numbers. And generally, they're a really good program, well coached, and they throw a lot of bodies at you. So, our guys will have to, like I said, turn the page and look at things a little bit differently. But, at the same time, we got to continue to improve each week. And, I'm a big Saban guy, and, that's the goal, is to try to get a little bit better each week. And, I think that's important, especially going into playoffs. So, next week it's not so much about beating Simon Kent. It's about getting a little bit better than we were this past week.
And you look at going into the postseason and the way everything lines up, those first two games at home are guaranteed. Then after that, when you get into the final 8, it's all about RPI. But trying to gain every possible point that you could get to where a first couple of games you win, possibly getting a third game at home, and getting those opportunities to play on the home field to try to make that trip toward Kroger Field.
Yeah, it's I'll just be honest, it's a really weird situation here in Kentucky. We got this RPI stuff, and you get penalized if you play out-of-state teams, and then on the flip side of that, you're going to RPI and tabulate points all year, and then you're not going to use them the first 2 rounds of the playoffs. And it's to me, it's a little silly. If you're going to use RPI, let's seed the whole playoffs and play it from round 1 to round 5. But for whatever reason, the first 2 rounds are cross, sister district, and you don't even use the RPI points. So I don't understand it. It's beyond me. I guess, it's beyond my control, but it doesn't make a lot of sense to me, just to be honest. And, then so you have to do the best you can and get as many points as you can by, 10 games and then let the dice roll.
And with you guys, again, you've got a very tough sister district sitting across from you, and that's something that you look at, obviously, when you're going back to districts, playing each other with sister districts against sister districts the first two rounds. The rounds are certainly not comparable because of the way those things line up.
No, it's silly. I mean, you're going to track RPI points all year long and then not use them for the first, for 2 weeks. And it's like, to me, it's like, what's the point of using it? But, I think it hurt. I think it hurts our district more than anything because I feel like our districts were very competitive, and especially our top 4 teams in the district. Boyd and Greenup is, they're as good as anybody, and you look at some of these other districts that we're playing. I feel like Boyd and Greenup is as good as if not better than some of these other teams, and to me it penalizes the teams that are really competitive, the districts that are really competitive, as opposed to maybe not as our sister district per se, but you have other districts across the state that aren't that competitive, and it's you're going to use RPI, let's use it and use it all the way through.
Chad, always a pleasure talking to you. Congratulations on a nice win last night. Best of luck, and we'll talk to you down the road.
Appreciate it. Thanks for having me on, and congratulations to all the area teams last night that won. And like I said, it's a great profession, and our area has some outstanding coaches right now, and it's fun to watch.
Sounds good. Take care, Chad. Take care.
All right. Thank you.
All right, we'll step aside for a break. When we return, let's go to Major League Baseball's World Series. Game number 1 is in the books. We'll talk about it when we return after this here on Let's Talk Sports on the Kool Sports Network.
If you're looking for a complete discount pharmacy with old-fashioned service and excellent prices, look no more. Since 1979, Stultz Pharmacy has provided our area with the finest in pharmacy care, 24-hour emergency prescription service, free delivery, and drive-through service for prescriptions. Stultz Pharmacy continues to fill all of your expectations. They carry a nice selection of gift items. For hometown service, see the professionals at Stultz Pharmacy in Greenup. More than you expect from a pharmacy.
Stultz Pharmacy.
River Cities Builders is a licensed general contractor specializing in commercial and industrial projects, and they have a history and reputation of providing top-notch expertise through their experienced and devoted workforce. River Cities Builders also is a gas facility maintenance company offering petroleum equipment maintenance and EMV compliant upgrades for smart payment terminals, and they offer 24 hours, 7 days a week emergency service. Call 606-473-4112 or visit rivercitiesbuildersinc.com.
Quality Marathon gasoline, great monthly specials on snacks and beverages, and fantastic service. Those are the qualities of Clark's Pump and Shops. You'll find a Clark's Pump and Shop near you in the Bluegrass State and beyond. And Rick and Brent Clark want you to know that they take pride in giving you the best prices and service, and they thank you for your patronage. Clark's Pump and Shops are a division of the John W. Clark Oil Company. Clark's Pump and Shops. Return, refresh, refuel.
JD Flooring, 2017 Ashland Road, Greenup, has been family owned and operated for over 30 years, featuring top-of-the-line material, guaranteed installation, and absolutely no one can beat JD Flooring's price. Need to replace your current flooring in one room or the entire house? Call JD Flooring in Greenup, 606-473-0411 for a free estimate. A call can get your house ready for any occasion. You'll absolutely love your new flooring from JD Flooring, 2017 Ashland Road, Greenup. Cool Hits weather is brought to you by Big Sandy Superstores of the Tri-State. For all your furniture and appliance needs, see Big Sandy today.
Cool Hits weather.
Starting out your day with mostly cloudy skies, then becoming sunny later on this afternoon. We'll see a high today of 66. A few clouds overnight tonight, low of 40. Partly cloudy on Sunday, high of 65. Clear Sunday night, low of 38.
Cool Hits 105.7.
Back on Let's Talk Sports on the Kool Sports Network. Big thanks to Chad Tackett from Ashland, talking some Tomcats football on the other side of the break. A big win last night over Johnson Central. The Fall Classic underway. Game 1, a thriller and an instant classic out in Dodger Stadium in L.A. as the L.A. Dodgers knocked off the New York Yankees 6-3 in 10 innings. Freddie Freeman, a walk-off grand slam with 2 outs in the 10th, down a run as the Dodgers stymie the New York Yankees in Game 1 to take a 1-0 lead. Yankees out-hit the Dodgers 10-7. Both starting pitchers were pretty solid. Garrett Cole, 6 innings, 4 hits, a run. It was earned. Did not walk a batter, struck out 4. Jake Flaherty, 5 1/3 innings, 5 hits, 2 runs, all earned. Struck out 6, walked a batter. He gave up 1 home run. Both starting pitchers right around 90 pitches. Flaherty was 90 exactly, Cole at 88. Then the bullpens went together, and that's when things got taken care of. So it was Trennan with an inning and a third for the Dodgers. He gave up a run that broke a 2-2 tie that put the Yankees in front there in the 10th. And then Nestor Cortez gave up the walk-off grand slam to Freddie Freeman with 2 outs in the 10th inning. So the way it broke out, Freeman last night, 2 for 5 with 4 RBIs, those coming in the 10th there. Shohei had 1 hit in 5 at-bats. And one of the guys, Edman, 2 for 4. The only 2 players on the roster last night for the Dodgers had 2 hits was Edman and Freddie Freeman. Gleyber Torres went 2 for 5 for the Yankees. Jazz Chisholm Jr., 2 for 5. Those were the only 2 with multi-hits for the New York Yankees, who fall behind now 1 game to none. So the big thing for this is that, again, the Dodgers taking care of home field advantage. So they switch over to Game 2 tonight, 8 o'clock, around 8:08, scheduled first pitch. Carlos Rondon and Yoshinobu Yamato will be the starting pitchers for both teams. Rondon, 1-1 in the postseason, a 4.40 ERA. He's worked 14 1/3 innings, 15 hits, 22 strikeouts, walking only 1. Yamamoto, 1-0 with a 5.11 ERA. 12 innings of work, 11 hits, 11 strikeouts, 4 walks, 2 home runs have been given up by both of these guys. Now, the interesting thing last night was you get Ohtani and Aaron Judge that were both relatively quiet. Both had a hit in 5 at-bats. Judge struck out 3 times. The Yankees did strike out 13 total times last night. So Judge struck out 3, Stanton struck out twice, Rizzo twice, Anthony Rizzo, Andrew Volpe struck out twice, and Austin Wells struck out twice. Austin Wells right now, he is struggling so much to hit the baseball. His postseason average right now is a 105. And again, defensively, he's a really solid catcher. Offensively right now, he has no confidence. He could not hit a baseball with a 2x4. And when you get into that situation, you're almost to the point to where you're giving away an out by putting him in the rotation. But again, you don't have anybody like an Ohtani over there that where they can pitch and hit if they needed to. By the way, Ohtani will not pitch in the World Series. Dave Roberts coming out saying that earlier this week. So no pitching duties for Ohtani, so maybe he gets back to the mound next year. But I think it's a clear-cut favorite. These are your 2 National League and American League MVPs. The question becomes is Aaron Judge, when the lights are the brightest, has got to find a way to come through. And batting 167 in the postseason and striking out 3 times in the first game of the World Series doesn't certainly shine a bright light on that. Juan Soto went 1 for 3 last night with 2 walks. He had 2 of the 4 Yankees walks. He and Rizzo lead the team. Rizzo batting 389, Soto at 333, Gleyber Torres is at 310. Those are the only 3 players batting 300 or better. Only 2 players for the Yankees. Let me try this again. 2 players for the Dodgers batting over 300. Kiki Hernandez is batting 306, and then Edman is batting 354. So Game 2 tonight at Dodger Stadium. Then Game 3 will get going back on Monday. They'll go 3 games in the Bronx if needed. So Monday the 28th, Tuesday 29th, Wednesday the 30th. Then they would shift back to Dodger Stadium on Friday the 1st and then Saturday the 2nd if needed. So all those games on Fox, and I think the Dodgers have been just a little bit better this season. 98-64, Yankees 94-68. I think if the Dodgers can take care of the Yankees in Game 2 tonight and shift it back to New York, even if they go to New York and only have to get one out of the 3 that they play there, I think the Dodgers will take care of this thing. I think Dodgers in 6 is what I'm going with this, but we'll see how things play out tonight, 8 o'clock on Fox for game number 2. All right, let's take a break. We come back. We got a lot of great games in college football, top 25, 2 games already in the books. We'll take a look at them when we return after this here on Let's Talk Sports on the Kool Sports Network.
If you're looking for a complete discount pharmacy with old-fashioned service and excellent prices, look no more. Since 1979, Stultz Pharmacy has provided our area with the finest in pharmacy care, 24-hour emergency prescription service, free delivery, and drive-through service for prescriptions. Stultz Pharmacy continues to fill all of your expectations. They carry a nice selection of gift items. For hometown service, see the professionals at Stultz Pharmacy in Greenup. More than you expect from a pharmacy.
Stultz Pharmacy.
River Cities Builders is a licensed general contractor specializing in commercial and industrial projects, and they have a history and reputation of providing top-notch expertise through their experienced and devoted workforce. River Cities Builders also is a gas facility maintenance company offering petroleum equipment maintenance and EMV compliant upgrades for smart payment terminals, and they offer 24 hours, 7 days a week emergency service. Call 606-473-4112 or visit rivercitiesbuildersinc.com.
Quality Marathon Gasoline. Great monthly specials on snacks and beverages and fantastic service. Those are the qualities of Clark's Pump and Shops. You'll find a Clark's Pump and Shop near you in the Bluegrass State and beyond. And Rick and Brent Clark want you to know that they take pride in giving you the best prices and service, and they thank you for your patronage. Clark's Pump and Shops are a division of the John W. Clark Oil Company. Clark's Pump and Shops. Return. Refresh. Refuel.
J.D. Flooring, 2017 Ashland Road, Greenup, has been family owned and operated for over 30 years, featuring top-of-the-line material, guaranteed installation, and absolutely no one can beat J.D. Flooring's price. Need to replace your current flooring in one room or the entire house? Call J.D. Flooring in Greenup, 606-473-0411 for a free estimate. A call can get your house ready for any occasion. You'll absolutely love your new flooring from J.D. Flooring, 2017 Ashland Road, Greenup.
We're your home for Motown, soul, and great rock and roll. We're Kool Hits 105.7.
Back to Let's Talk Sports on the Kool Sports Network. Top 25 college football action. 2 games in the books Thursday and Friday. Let's take a look at those, and we'll break down everything coming up later on today. We've got some good games on tap. Number 19, Pitt, no trouble with Syracuse Thursday night, 41-13. It was 31-0 at the half for the Panthers, who are undefeated and perfect in ACC play. Kyle McCord had a disastrous night, the former Ohio State quarterback. 35 of 64, 321 yards, 5 interceptions. He threw 3 pick sixes in the loss. Again, that's something I would do playing college football 25. There were some people that they were poking fun at him and said this is the first time that a quarterback has entered the transfer portal mid-game because of how many pick sixes that he threw. It's like, you've got guys out there covered in orange. You think throw it to the guy in orange, and they simply could not do that. So either way, Pitt rolling in the ACC, they look really solid. Good win for them. Last night, number 17, Boise State on the road out in Las Vegas. They had to hang on for a 29-24 win over UNLV, but they get the victory. They stay undefeated in Mountain West Conference play at 6-1, 3-3 in Mountain West play. Ashton Genty, 33 carries, $128 and a touchdown. He was held to only 54 yards in the first half. And typically 128 is numbers that we've seen for him in a half of football, not an entirety of a football game. So either way, the Boise State Broncos, they get the win. They continue to roll, trying to play as that top group of 5 team that's going to make that automatic qualifying bid into the college football playoff system. We're getting very close to getting that first college football playoff ranking too, by the way, which is going to be very excited to see how things are going to stack up when we see our first teams. There's some teams here, I think, after last week, they're done, and we'll talk about that in just a few minutes. Okay, here we go. Our noon games today. These are the top 25 games, 4 games. Nebraska is in Columbus against number 4 Ohio State. Jacob Hankins is on his way up there to Columbus today. Certainly hoping that he has a great day. He's a giant Ohio State fan, so this is an opportunity for him to go up there. But the Buckeyes, favored by 26, they should roll in this one without a problem. But they'll play Nebraska today at noon on Fox. The next game I'm talking about is one I'm really going to keep a close eye on because I think this one is an epic showdown. Number 12, Notre Dame, 24th ranked Navy at East Rutherford up at MetLife Stadium in New Jersey. Notre Dame's favored by 14. Navy's undefeated. Notre Dame, that one loss to Northern Illinois. I'm taking by the odds makers, I'm taking the upset here. I think Navy will beat Notre Dame today. We'll see. I will definitely say this. I will take Navy in those 14 points and say, thank you, can I have another? If Notre Dame beats Navy by more than 14, I will be as shocked as anybody in the country. I just don't see it. Notre Dame ranked 12th in the nation. I still think they are completely overranked because all of a sudden it's like everybody has forgotten about that terrible loss at home to Northern Illinois in week 2. And under this system that we have now, you have to account for everything because you've got to find the 12 teams that deserve to be in the playoffs, not a media favorite that everybody wants to apologize for Notre Dame. This one's going to tell us a lot because the good thing of it is that if Navy does win this one, we still have an opportunity for an undefeated Navy-Army showdown at the end of the season, which I think would be epic, by the way. You got Army and Navy both ranked. But if we can get those two in a ranked opponent's final game of the regular season, how awesome would that be? We'll see how this one plays out. That game today on ABC. Washington goes to 13th ranked Indiana. The Hoosiers 7-0 on the season, 4-0 in Big Ten play. Could we see an Indiana-Ohio State Big Ten championship game? I would pay to see that. I think that Indiana is certainly turning heads, but we've still got some other teams that's going to be in there. Obviously, Penn State is in that conversation piece. Oregon, your top team in the nation, still hard to put Oregon in the Big Ten. But right now, you've got Indiana, Oregon at 4-0 in Big Ten play. Penn State is 3-0. Ohio State 2-1 because of that loss to Oregon. Do we still have some opportunities here for some shuffling? Yeah, I think so. You look at Indiana, they're going to play Ohio State on the 23rd. That's their only left-ranked opponent in the rest of the ways for the Hoosiers. So that game against Ohio State is going to be uber critical for them to get where they need to go. Now, for Oregon, they'll play Illinois today. They do not have a ranked opponent the rest of the season. So Oregon certainly looks like it's going to control its own destiny there in the Big Ten. For Penn State, they've got Wisconsin this week. Then next week, the big game against Ohio State. So, no ranked opponents after that. So, I think between Indiana, Oregon, Penn State, and Ohio State, those 4 teams, 2 of those are who are going to make up our final pair for the Big Ten championship. We'll see how that plays out, but it's certainly going to be entertaining to watch the stretch down the list. Bringing Oregon into the Big Ten, I think, is huge because I didn't expect it to make such ripple effect across the board so quickly. And then here they are after beating Ohio State in that 2 versus 3 matchup and then getting the top seeded in the nation. And again, you look at Oregon, they struggled in the first couple of weeks. Now, they've certainly settled back in. Dylan Gabriel 15 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, already over 2,000 yards. He's the part. And Tez Johnson is as electric as they come. He's caught 57 passes, 7 for touchdowns, and over 500 through the air. So we'll see how it plays out. Oregon plays Illinois today at 3:30. Final game in the noon segment, 18th ranked Ole Miss welcomes in Oklahoma. All right, other games at 3:30. Number 11 BYU goes to UCF. UCF favored over BYU by 2.5 points to the undefeated BYU. That's insane to think that you got BYU ranked 11th in the nation playing a 3-4 UCF team, and UCF is favored in this one. The odds makers know something that we don't in that football game. 21st ranked Missouri, 15th ranked Alabama. Both of these teams are done. There is no hope for them to get into the college football playoffs. I just don't see it. Especially with Alabama, their 2 losses, both to conference teams. I mean, you look at Alabama right now, you have Texas A&M, LSU at the top of the SEC undefeated. Georgia's at 4-1, Tennessee 3-1, Missouri, Texas, and Vanderbilt at 2-1. And then it's Alabama. And I just don't see any form or fashion that Alabama is going to climb that ladder to get back into the SEC supremacy to be able to find a way to get into the top 12. You look at their schedule, 21st ranked Missouri today, at LSU, who is currently ranked 8th with a matchup with Texas A&M today. Then they close the season out with Mercer, Oklahoma, and Auburn. Not exactly anything that's going to set the world on fire. Auburn is 0-4 in conference play. Oklahoma's 1-3, and then you've got a poorly lowly Mercer that Alabama puts in there as a cupcake game that is not going to help their way any form or fashion right now. This is the year that cupcake is going to bite Alabama in the backside. But I do not see any conversation unless some stuff just totally goes sideways across college football that's going to put Alabama in the college football playoffs, especially after 2 losses like they've taken. Another good one today at 4:15, 5th-ranked Texas is in Nashville against 25th-ranked Vanderbilt. Is Vanderbilt fool's gold? Have they turned in? Did they get a Michigan scandal? Did they start stealing some signs? You know, all of a sudden did the scholars of Vanderbilt figure out a system of trying to attack these big-name teams? We'll see. The other question is that with Texas, which quarterback do we see? That's going to be the big question here is, last week in the loss to Georgia, we saw 2 passers. Quinn Ewers got yanked for Arch Manning at the halftime, and they go back to Ewers in the second half. I don't know. This will be a good question about Texas because they did not look good against Georgia. Now, that was an angry Georgia team. But now, if you're Texas, you've got to put your foot in the ground because, again, you're looking up at the conference that's running away from you. Texas A&M 4-0, LSU, Georgia 4-1, Tennessee 3-1, Missouri 2-1. So we'll see where that lands. But again, Texas, after this week, Florida, Arkansas, Kentucky, and then they close things out on the 30th of November at Texas A&M. So certainly got to make hay while it's opportune there for the Longhorns. Tonight at 7, Florida State's going to go get smacked by 6th-ranked Miami. I still do not know how in the world that Florida State has turned into the just absolute destruction of a program that it's become. The true whipping post of the ACC. Miami's favored by 21. I'm going to lay those points because I think Miami beats them by 30. Miami's needing a game to where they don't have to just push to get through. This one will be a good one here. Cam Ward, 2,500-plus yards, 24 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. Obviously, your front runner for the Heisman. But I think he puts up some video game-like numbers this evening as Miami hammers Florida State. Penn State, 3rd-ranked in the nation. They go to Wisconsin tonight at 7:30. A dandy tonight on ABC at 7:30. 8th-ranked LSU heads to College Station against 14th-ranked Texas A&M. A&M, this was a coin flip. They're a 1-point favorite. I'm going to take the Aggies at home, mainly because it's at home. Garrett Nussmeiser, quarterback for LSU, I don't think he can play in big moments, and I don't trust Brian Kelly in big moments, the head coach for LSU. I'm going to take the Aggies in this one. Even if I have to lay a point, I'll still take Texas A&M this one as they go to 5-0 in SEC play. In Little Manhattan, as it's known out in Kansas, Bill Snyder Family Stadium, 16th rate Kansas State welcomes in Kansas in a battle for the state. Kansas State laying 10 in this one. They should cruise past Kansas easily at 8 p.m. tonight. And our final game of the top 25, 22nd ranked SMU heads to Duke tonight at 8. Couple of games in the SEC to touch on at 7:45 tonight. Auburn goes to Kentucky as the Cats try to bounce back. Kentucky is a 1-point favorite in that game. And then in the ACC today, Louisville last night getting a win over Boston College, 31-27 up in Boston. All right, we'll take a break. We come back. It's time for the Borders Sporting Goods Rant of the Week. That's as we continue our coverage here on Let's Talk Sports on the Kool Sports Network.
If you're looking for a complete discount pharmacy with old-fashioned service and excellent prices, look no more. Since 1979, Stultz Pharmacy has provided our area with the finest in pharmacy care, 24-hour emergency prescription service, free delivery, and drive-through service for prescriptions. Stultz Pharmacy continues to fill all of your expectations. They carry a nice selection of gift items. For hometown service, see the professionals at Stultz Pharmacy in Greenup. More than you expect from a pharmacy.
Stultz Pharmacy.
River Cities Builders is a licensed general contractor specializing in commercial and industrial projects, and they have a history and reputation of providing top-notch expertise through their experienced and devoted workforce. River Cities Builders also is a gas facility maintenance company offering petroleum equipment maintenance and EMV compliant upgrades for smart payment terminals, and they offer 24 hours, 7 days a week emergency service. Call 606-473-4112 or visit rivercitiesbuildersinc.com.
Quality Marathon Gasoline. Great monthly specials on snacks and beverages and fantastic service. Those are the qualities of Clark's Pump and Shops. You'll find a Clark's Pump and Shop near you in the Bluegrass State and beyond. And Rick and Brent Clark want you to know that they take pride in giving you the best prices and service, and they thank you for your patronage. Clark's Pump and Shops are a division of the John W. Clark Oil Company. Clark's Pump and Shops. Return. Refresh. Refuel.
JD Flooring, 2017 Ashland Road, Greenup, has been family-owned and operated for over 30 years, featuring top-of-the-line material, guaranteed installation, and absolutely no one can beat JD Flooring's price. Need to replace your current flooring in one room or the entire house? Call JD Flooring in Greenup, 606-473-0411 for a free estimate. A call can get your house ready for any occasion. You'll absolutely love your new flooring from JD Flooring, 2017 Ashland Road, Greenup. Kool Hits weather is brought to you by Big Sandy Superstores of the Tri-State. For all your furniture and appliance needs, see Big Sandy today.
Kool Hits weather.
Starting out your day with mostly cloudy skies, then becoming sunny later on this afternoon. We'll see a high today of 66. A few clouds overnight tonight, low of 40. Partly cloudy on Sunday, high of 65. Clear Sunday night, low of 38.
Kool Hits 105.7.
Back on Let's Talk Sports on the Kool Sports Network. Real quickly before I jump into the Borders Sporting Goods Rant of the Week, let's talk about those college football playoff rankings. The first ranking we get for the new 12-team playoff comes up in that first Tuesday in November. It's actually election night of when that one will fall in, by the way, so November 5th. But the BCS system, we all remember what it was, the bullcrap system is what I called it. The computers are still out there. There's people that have it and like to play around with it. And ESPN actually took the old BCS system and ran through the teams to see where the BCS says would fall for the top 12 right now. So here's where we end up. Oregon was first, Georgia number 2, Penn State third, and Ohio State fourth. So those would be your, if this is how this fell in, those would be your top 4 teams who would earn byes in the first round. All right, 5th was Texas, 6th Miami, 7th Tennessee, 8th LSU, 9 Clemson, number 10 Notre Dame, 11th was Iowa State, and 12th was Indiana. Now, rounding out the top 25, BYU, Texas A&M, Alabama 15th, Kansas State 16th, Ole Miss, Missouri, Boise State, Pitt at 20, SMU, Illinois, Army, Navy, and South Carolina, rounding out the top 25. So we'll see where everything falls and how this thing goes out. But certainly it's going to be entertaining when we get our first college football playoff rankings under the new format of the 12-team playoff to see who's in, who's not. And, again, you get your Power 4 right now because there's the Power 5 kind of in waiting with the Pac-12 revamping. So they do not get an automatic bid this year. They do not return to automatic bids until 26 when they bring more teams back. Right now there's only 2 teams left in the conference. So you get 4 teams that get the automatic bids out of the ACC, SEC, Big 10, and Big 12. You get your top group of 5 champion that comes in. So that's 5 of your 12. And then your other 7 are at-large bids. And the question becomes then, who's going to get those 7 at-large bids? And that's where it's going to put the committee in a lot of crazy conditions trying to figure out who gets in from there. All right, time for Borders Sporting Goods Rant of the Week. Borders Sporting Goods US 60 in Canonsburg for all your hunting and fishing needs, as well as the Liberty Gun Safe. Go see Brad in the game out of Borders. They'll get you taken care of. Deer season is obviously both seasons in. Rifle season is just around the corner. It's not too long. I was out running last week over in Russell and was coming by the place where they play the upward soccer game, and I looked up on the hillside, and I saw one of the biggest bucks in the wild that I've ever seen in my entire life. I took a picture of it with my phone just to try to look and see if the rack was as big as what it looked like from probably a good 300 yards away at least, and it was massive. I mean, this thing almost looks like an elk. But if hunting is your passion, obviously, Brad and the gang can get you all squared away with everything you need out there. Holiday season is coming very quickly. It's not going to be too long before we're talking about Christmas. Black Friday, just around the corner. They always have a superb Black Friday sale out there with all those Liberty gun safes. They offer layaway for those holiday gift item needs. So anything you're looking for, hunting or fishing, check out Borders Sporting Goods. They'll get you all squared away. How about a little bit of respect in our society? The issue that we're up against is the fact that we walk around society thinking that everything is at Burger King. Everything is my way. And the problem of that is that it doesn't matter if it fits the agenda of what's common in society for acceptable behavior or not. Put it in perspective. I'm running at the park the other day, and there's 4 ladies walking while they're talking, and I'm coming toward them, and they spread all the way across the sidewalk, but they have stopped. And they're talking, not walking. They have stopped. So at this point, one would think it would make sense to maybe scoot over if you're going to stop and talk and get off of the sidewalk. No, they go all the way across the sidewalk. And then as I'm trying to run, looking up, they don't move. And I actually hit shoulders with one of the ladies standing there as I'm trying to dodge around them at the last minute because they would not get out of the way. Now, one, what kind of an idiot does it take to just be so self-absorbed that you're on a sidewalk and you have to think this is a 2-way lane of highway is what you think, but you go and stand on the opposite side of the traffic and think that that's okay. Again, it's my way. It's I don't care about what you're doing. I only care about myself. There's people in the world that just simply cannot follow the basic rules of society. And if they don't get their way, then they go into this absurd aggression, rage attack. They foam at the mouth. They go to violence. And why? That's my question. Why? Why do so many people immediately choose violence over anything out there when they're told no. And they're not given the answer that they want. It's just mind-blowing of how little respect that we have for people, rules in general in society. It's like I watch students all the time. You tell them to put their cell phone away, and they do so until you walk away or they think that they're in a position to where you're not seeing what they're doing. And what are they doing? They're back on that cell phone. And it's mind-blowing. It's like, why, first off, do you think that it's okay that as soon as you think that I'm out of view to do something that you were just told not to do? I don't know. There is zero respect for anything in this society. Call me an old fart, that's fine, but I like the way things used to be. When I grew up, there was discipline in schools. There was discipline in the household. I was held to a standard of respect for my elders by my parents. And the basic fact of it is that we have lost all of this. Parents want to be best friends with their kids. You cannot discipline in schools hardly at all, because as soon as you do, then the teacher is the problem. It's not the student. And then the backside of it is this generation of youth do not respect anybody from age, 5, 6, 7 years old. They don't respect their elders. They don't even know what an elder is. They don't care because it's not anything that's important to them at the moment. We have got to find a way to get some respect back in our society. And if we don't, this downward spiral that we're currently in, it's going to crash and burn at some point, and it's not too far away from it. And it's something that, is it going to, if we try to do something to make it better, is it going to suck at first? Yeah, it's going to. When you get something this dramatic that needs to be changed, yeah, it's going to make a really big ripple effect. But at some point, you have to make some changes. And everybody holding hands and singing Kumbaya is not getting it done, because we're losing the control of our youth, and we're losing the control of respect within our society, because people just simply don't respect each other anymore. They don't care. They're so self-absorbed, it's only about them. That's all they worry about. And it's time that we have to do something to fix it, where it's not just about them, it's about us as a whole in society, of trying to work to get better. Hopefully at some point we'll figure this out, but it's not looking good anytime in the future. That's the Borders Sporting Goods Rant of the week. I'll be back with you next Saturday. We've got the final week of regular season football. Hard to believe we are talking about postseason football coming up. We flip the calendar over next Friday into the month of November, and then November 8th we start postseason week number 1 across the Commonwealth as teams make that trek toward playing on the carpet at Kroger Field in that first Friday and Saturday of December. Big thanks to Chad Tackett from Ashland Football joining me here on the show, as well as my producer, Dwayne Elliott, not having to do anything but just sit there and push a button today, and I think he did everything right, but greatly appreciate him as well. That's it for me. Have a great weekend, everyone. I'll talk to you next weekend. For everyone at the station, Dwayne Elliott, I'm James Collier.